video is really about how do you build your digital module that will work online and offline. So one of the ways I think in which we might want to think about how we build our module is to think about how we can be creative, and that's creative ourselves in how we might deliver and create our content, but how can we endeavour to create creativity with our students. And I think being bimodal offers us a great opportunity to allow students to be more creative, but also for us to be creative ourselves. To start building our modules, one of the areas that we need to think about is how can we scaffold the students' learning. So throughout the 10 or 11 week term, how might we think about their learning? But actually when we're building our digital module, what we need to think about is breaking those 2 hours down into much more of a bite-sized piece. So I say it's going to be challenging. Students probably aren't going to engage in a full 2 hours of a lecture. So it's thinking of all the relevant theories, the concepts that are within there. How can I break all of these down? So we might decide that actually we're going to break our 2 hour lecture down into actually 10 different pieces of information. So when we're building the module, one of the things we want to start thinking about is our learning outcomes. Now, we all have our standard module learning outcomes that are on our paperwork, and they'll be on our module information handbook. But actually, when we're building a bimodal module, one of the things we need to go beyond the basic learning outcomes. What do I need them to end this session having fully achieved? And it's going a bit beyond the understanding, but thinking, do I need them to apply this? Is this about understanding how this particular concept works in the real world? But what precisely is it? So it's a much more of an analytical approach to what's this particular lecture about. So really thinking about those 2 hours in much more bite-sized pieces. So because students are going to be online, one of the things we need to think about is maintaining their interest. So when you're building your particular session, so we might want to call this a unit, we would be thinking about breaking this down into these bite-sized pieces and introducing variety within that. So you might want to think about having a short introductory video, then you might want to create a case study, and perhaps you might want to have some diagrams that students can have a look at. You might want to create a little PowerPoint video. There'll be any number of ways that we can interact with students. But I say it's very much about thinking about things as bite size.